Zoom. It's a different place. Okay, we're recording now. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So tonight, we have our normal agenda, welcome and prayer, announcements, and then Daniel and I are going to share a little bit with you guys. And then just as always, question and answer time. So let's go ahead and open up with a prayer and we will dive on in. Lord, I thank you for a chance to just chat with a few of us that can be on live and those that are going to be listening to the recording. I just pray that whatever things that we share, insights that come about through this conversation, that it would be a blessing to each of us and that it would help move our businesses in whatever way that you are guiding forward. And I just pray that you would bless our time, that you would be here with us, and Lord, that you would just honor this time and be here with us. In your name, amen. Amen. Okay, so announcements. Let me close us out so you can see it. Okay, so if you are not already, you need to make sure that you get registered for the Lex Republic Team Spirit Team. I had a hard time deciding on that, what we were going to do, but there is, of the 6 prizes that are going to be given out, there is one prize that's given for the biggest team. And so I thought, rather than just doing our team of maybe 20 people, we would go ahead and jump on board with a bigger team and try to win that prize. So we are going to, I've already done it. I've gone on it super easy. Daniel's registered too. He doesn't even know it. Get registered for the Lex Republic team. The team leader, of course, is Raina Odell. You just have to type both of those things in, put your coach ID in, and then you're good to go. You're registered.
Are we supposed to be on Raina's team or Leslie's team?
I went with Raina's team. So Leslie, if you went with Leslie's, you can switch. There is a way to switch, or you can be on hers. That's whatever you want to do. I just went with Raina because she's more of my upline than Leslie is, so I felt like I needed to go that direction, if that makes sense.
I guess I thought we were all doing Leslie's.
Yeah, Raina did a separate one, so I just went that way. But I did see, I think Leslie's is in the top 10 right now, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully we'll be right behind her. Okay, I guess I don't have to minimize that now. Let's see, I made a special note here. I wanted to congratulate Lois. She qualified for Success Club 6 last month, helped 3 brand new people get started on their journey, and I think a few of those were even coaches for her team. So it was just a huge success for her because she's had many, many months where she's felt like she's gotten nowhere, and I just am super proud of her for continuing to be just vigilant and doing what she knows she's supposed to do constantly. She's one of the most consistent people on our team, even when she's not seeing return on things. So she did a great job last month, and her hard work was paying off. And she even has people right now that have signed up this month too. So her momentum is really starting to get going. So congratulations to Lois. Let's see, last Core de Force sneak peek is on the 24th. So that is, what is that? Tuesday?
4 days from today.
Yeah, Monday? Yeah. So that one, I think it's a different one than what we got to do last time too. So plan to do that on the 24th, post about it, share about it. And then Core de Force releases, they actually gave it a date earlier than what we were planning on. It's coming out actually on Halloween. So, but it's not going to be till the end of the day, and more than likely people are not going to be signing up for it on Halloween with you. It's just a good time to start promoting it. And then it'll be a great sale for November. But that comes out on Halloween evening. And then the thing I'm so excited about, Super Saturday is on October 29th. If you are not in the Kansas area, you need to look on the map on your Coach Online office, find a Super Saturday and get there. Whether you know people in that area or not, it is a game changer. And if you've been feeling like you're in a rut, which typically happens quarterly, you just go through those phases. It's one of those things that just uplifts, connects you with real people in real life that are doing this, and any of those live events that we can get to are incredibly helpful. So find one near you, and then all of those that can make it to the Wichita one, which is actually in Derby, we are going to be getting together the Friday night beforehand. Melissa has opened up her house for anybody that's traveling, wants to spend the night, and we're going to get together that night. We're going to work on dream boards. We're going to hang out and maybe have some drinks and some good food and just have a wonderful time hanging out together. So if you can, make it and be there with us, because we're going to have a really good time. My family lives in Derby, and I'm staying the night at Melissa's. So I'm just really, really excited about it. And I want as many of our people to be there as can be, because it'll be a good time to just spend time together. And then after Super Saturday, on Saturday, we're going to be going out for lunch afterwards together. So another thing, if you can't make it on Friday and stay the night, plan to go to lunch with us afterwards on Saturday. So that is all of the announcements. And if I can get it back. Oh, what did I just do? Stop. There we go. Okay. So for our topic tonight, I was just kind of chatting with Daniel about what am I going to talk about this time. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I overthink our topics, and most of our struggles tend to be like super basic level struggles that we just kind of get in ruts at times. And I feel like the calls where I just talk with you guys are the ones that we leave with the most to keep moving forward. So Daniel and I were talking, and don't do that. We were talking, and I was like, hey, can you just be on the call with me? Because like everything you're saying right now is the pep talk I needed to hear. So I just wanted to have him kind of share what he was sharing, and we're just going to kind of play back and forth and just chat. So anyway, do you remember the very first thing we were talking about?
No.
What did you say about business?
Which one?
Business, serving you, or you serving your business?
Oh, okay. That wasn't the very first thing, but so Christie and I were just talking through what it means to be working the business or to be doing anything in our lives. And the big question that comes out, I work with high schoolers a lot, and high schoolers are thinking about what they're going to do with the rest of their life. And it's a really scary thing to think about when you're 18 years old, kind of setting the course for the direction that you're going to go, because you make decisions that close doors for you in the future. And there's a lot of pressure thinking about the destination where you're going, what you're going to be doing, how you're going to be doing it, what skills you're going to have. And the big thing that comes down to it is that it really doesn't matter what kind of skills we have or what we're doing, because sometimes those things are outside of our control. But what we can control is the attitude that we have when we go into those things. We may not be seeing the results that we want in whatever we're doing. We may not label the place that we are as a success, but it can be successful if we have the right attitude about it. And the big question then becomes with like the business with Beachbody is, are you serving Beachbody? Is this something that is your taskmaster and you're going, oh, I have to do this, and if I don't do that, then I'm going to feel guilty about it. And then suddenly maybe you don't do the number of calls that you want to do, or things like doing a workout. Workouts suddenly become part of the business rather than something that just feeds into you and something that pumps you up and gets you going. It becomes one of those tasks, because if you're not a product of the product, then you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And if if you are serving the business, you're not going to find happiness there. Eventually, you're going to be worn out because Beachbody is pulling from you rather than doing what it's supposed to do and change your life and help infuse you with energy and with the ability to have the things that you want. And so the big question becomes, are you serving your business or is your business serving you? And to look at those things and to say, the things that I'm doing today, is this adding to my happiness? Because if you're not happy without Beachbody and without those things, you're not going to be happy with Beachbody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just kind of like playing off of that, I've been thinking a lot about recently the journey versus the destination, because we are constantly, filled with all of these messages of vision and goals and what are you working towards? Are you moving in that direction? And while those things are really important, and you guys know, like, I'm a goal fiend. I love setting goals. Like, sometimes I like setting goals more than I like working towards them. So, but I love goals and I love visioning and I love making plans for the future. But sometimes we can get so caught up in that piece of it that we miss out on the here and now. And that piece that he's talking about, the happiness piece, is sometimes ripped away from, the joy is ripped away from that journey when we spend too much time looking forward rather than experiencing and being present and experiencing that joy in the here and now. So the things like he's talking about, like our workouts, they become for us just that like task thing we have to mark off, because I love marking things off of the list. Like when I make a to-do list, like I make a to-do list on my to-do list, so I can initially mark something off. So that's how I function. But so sometimes I get into that mindset of task, and I lose the actual experience. What energy is that giving to me in the moment? And that's the whole reason we're here. Like, for most of us, we jumped in because we experienced some kind of rejuvenation through working out, living healthier, meal planning and prepping things that fill and fuel our bodies better. And when we make that so task-oriented and we just do it to get it done off of the list, we lose that little bit of energy that provides to us each time. So something I really am trying to personally work on right now is, why am I doing this right now? Am I present in this right now? Am I getting out of this right now why I went into it in the first place? So think about that in your tasks, like your workouts, your personal development, like that right there. I don't know where I would be if I did not do personal development on a regular basis and made it more of a task, like something to mark off on my list. Because there are times where it's just the thing, like I know I'm supposed to do it every day, so I'm marking off the list, but did I really get out of that something that is going to fill me up and move me through my day more powerfully? And
I think I would say along with that, with the PD, is that personal development should be developing your person and not developing just your business. Mm-hmm. It's really easy for us to whatever our business is. My business is the church. It'd be really easy for me to be honed into things that just help me run the organization of the church, and then I get caught up in all of that. And those are all things that I'm pouring myself out in. And so with Beachbody, there's so many things to do to develop yourself as a leader over a team, as a coach of people who are in a challenge group, learning ways to market, making sure that you are doing those workouts. And there's things that are those personal development pieces that are all business focused, but it's personal development should be rounding you as a person. And so looking at those other pieces that don't directly impact your business and saying, how am I being rounded? How am I being shaped in the midst of this? And how is this allowing me to actually access the fullness of this life that's being offered? I heard a story about two young boys, and one of them walks into a church and the other one's on his bike out in front of the church, and this boy runs in, and the pastor comes up to him and is looming over him and says, "Where's God?" And the boy's like, "I don't know." And the pastor's like, "Where's God?" And the boy like just turns around and runs out of the church and hops on his bike, and he said, "We better leave right now because they've misplaced God and they're trying to pin it on us." And the thing is that sometimes we become so focused on one aspect of what it is that we're trying to accomplish with our lives, and all anybody else hears in the midst of that is, "Oh, look, something's not right with the world and it's your fault." Mm-hmm. And when it comes, especially to something like this, where you're trying to help somebody live into the wellness of life, it's really easy for people to feel intimidated and to feel like you're making them less than. And that's not the intention. And so it's important for us to have a roundness, a wholeness of life, so that those pieces of, and it doesn't have to be just happiness. I use that word a lot, but happiness is not the sole goal, because life is not all rainbows and unicorns. But there is joy that should be coming out of a roundness of life.
Yeah, and so something I was thinking about as he was talking towards the beginning of that, I know that many of us don't have the luxury of doing all kinds of personal development on a daily basis. I thankfully, with the way that things are right now, like I have the ability to do that. So I can, like in my day, I spend time doing either a devotional or a Bible study type of personal development. That's important and personal to me, and that helps me feel more full in a holistic way. I also will try to make time in my day to do some kind of personal development that is challenging to me, like an area of personal growth that I can spend time working on. So lately that has been reading and listening to books that are about leadership so that I can be a better leader for our team. And then I also try to spend time doing personal development that is going to help my challenge groups, because I know that the best coaches for our team are going to come from people that have had a radical transformation of some kind. So right now that is going through Made to Crave again. So I have these 3 specific times during the day where I'm doing these 3 different kinds of personal development, but each of those is intentional and important for me. With my schedule the way it is, I can do that. For those of you that have, trickier schedules where you can't take out an hour and a half in a day to do 3 different types of personal development, maybe you could, in your schedule, set a time, like one day you do this kind of personal development. One day you do another kind of personal development. For many of the newer coaches on our team, a lot of your personal development time is spent watching videos that Raina has done, or videos that some of the top coaches that you like to follow have done, or watching and learning from the Entrepreneur Academy, different things like that are helping you to understand the business better. And that is really, really, really important. But you cannot forget to do those other pieces that really help you as a person. I know for me, before I ever did Beachbody, I didn't really spend much time on personal development. I did Bible studies here and there, kind of as my church small group did them. I just kind of followed suit with that. But this has been a whole new thing for me in the past year and a half or so. And I'm incredibly thankful for this being something that's become a part of my regular everyday life. Anything else here?
Well, and so a lot of dialogue is had within Beachbody about finding your why. And I know that that's a conversation that your team has been having for a long time, for at least a year. Mm-hmm. And thinking about why is it that you're doing this business? Why is it that you feel called to having a full wellness, where it's not just about a workout, it's not just about eating well, it's not just about getting appropriate rest, but it's about the full picture. Why is it that you want to do? Because there's lots of what's out there, there's lots of hows, and yet it all comes back to that why. And in the midst of that why gives you vision, that why gives you mission. But there's also little pieces that you're called to each day. And those are little hooks all along the way. In what I do with my church is we feel called to be a servant church. And that means that we're looking at our community and saying, where are the holes in our community where we can stand in the gap and help people and to care for them. And that comes down to 4 basic things that we as individuals within the church need to be doing, and then as a whole church, the 4 things that we're to be doing. And so every day, each member of our church is asking themselves, how am I being engaged to be a servant today? How am I enlisting to do this? How am I volunteering? How am I signing up? How am I going all in to do this today? How am I being endowed for this? What are the things that other people are giving to me so that I can care for those around me? And then how am I being entrusted? What piece of responsibility am I taking for this day? In the same manner, we say, so who am I engaging with? Who am I enlisting? Who am I giving the opportunity to make a commitment to serve others with? How am I endowing? How am I training other people? And then how am I saying, now you go and do this? And that's an important thing for us to be thinking about with Beachbody, is saying, so we know that there is this huge obesity issue in the United States. We know that a big problem is that people are not living whole, healthy lives, and that people are lacking in happiness because of that. It's keeping people back from being able to be engaged with their families the way that they wish they could be. It is just really limiting people. And so that creates all kinds of whys. But then every day is a constant process of saying, all right, we are engaging this issue. We're committing to take care of this issue. We are going to be giving people the tools to be able to make a difference in their lives. And then we're putting the responsibility on them, because I know that if I'm not happy outside of this lifestyle, I'm not going to be happy in this lifestyle. If I don't have this lifestyle serving me, then I'm going to end up being a slave to it. And it's my responsibility as a leader then to be helping other people realize those things, that this is not something that they're being called to be bogged down and to be limited by, but it's actually something that this is a new life that frees them up to do the things that they want to be able to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that goes very nicely into just reiterating as he's saying that, like, it's making me think on the mission statement I have for our team. And it's something that's so deep within me. I have shared with you guys, like, I have had a passion and a heart for mission for a really, really long time. And that vision and what that actual mission field is has changed for me many times over the last 10 years. And it's gone from being in a classroom, being overseas, my kids, just lots and lots of different changes. And now with this opportunity, it really started coming into my heart last year that I have a mission field right here. This is a huge platform. Like, I'm meeting people on a daily basis that I never would have met otherwise. And I have the opportunity to build relationship with all of these people and to together walk this journey, this life journey together, and do life in a more meaningful and full way. So our mission statement for our team, change people, is something that I feel like we have the opportunity to live out every single day, because we're constantly evolving into that change. It's not a one-time thing, we're fixed. We are constantly working this together, and our community just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I see that just beautifully unfolding as our teams are all growing. And I love seeing that.
And I just have one more thing.
Okay.
So there's my last thing. And well, we know that as we've been talking through this conversation tonight, that we have different callings, things that are important to us. I heard a guy say, his name is John Ortberg, said, what's your problem? And if you don't have a problem, then your problem is that you don't have a problem. And so each one of us needs to be thinking about, what is that thing that's causing us to go, oh, somebody should really do something about that. And once we go, oh, somebody should really do something about that, then we go, oh, I should do something about that. I do not feel called right now to be helping people with their health journeys utilizing Beachbody. When I go to bed at night, I don't stay awake thinking through how can I get more people involved in changing their lives to live healthier, happier, fuller lives.
I do.
But she does. And here's the thing. Any spouse of a coach in Beachbody, you have been called to partner with your spouse. And so if they feel called, if their problem is that people need to live healthier, happier, well, I don't know what the whole thing is, but if they feel called to that, then your call is to support them in the best ways that you possibly can. And so that may not be being in a challenge group every week or every month, but every once in a while, hop in a challenge group. It may not be messaging people, but it's encouraging your spouse in those things and to celebrate those little milestones along the way. There are lots of times when I'm told that 30 or 40 or 50 people were messaged in a day, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And really, I should be the number one cheerleader there saying, you rock, I'm so proud of you. And in those moments where Christie says, I just don't feel like I got it today, I say, tomorrow is another day and you have this. And so every day is cheering her on. And honestly, it goes both ways for spouses. There's times when we look at our spouse and we go, oh, you could try a little bit harder. Our call is to say, hey, I know that things are difficult. You can do this. Keep going. And we should be cheerleaders right there alongside and using the gifts that we've been given, the skills that we've accrued to support that business. And so that's our problem when it comes to Beachbody is our spouse feels called to this and we are called to support them. That was on the teleprompter.
All right. Do we have anything else?
I don't know.
Grand finale.
Am I going to get more kisses if I keep talking? Where does it go?
Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
Awesome.
No, he is absolutely right. And I don't know where on many of those days, because I'm the coach that hears no a million times in a day, and sometimes that wears on you. And other days, it's no big deal. But on the days that it really wears on me, he's awesome and listens and helps me respond in a rational way in certain situations because I'm not always the most rational person. So, so I am thankful for his support. Okay, well, I don't know. That was kind of like we were all over the place, but we just wanted to share like we were having a conversation earlier today. So I hope that was helpful. I hope it was. And I hope those that can listen to the recording are not like, what? Do you guys have, I always end with question and answer, you know? Do you have anything right now that you're needing answers to?
Yeah, but not stuff that I want on a recording.
Okay. I will.
Good
Okay.
job, guys.
Thank you. I'm going to stop the recording.